Story of the day. The Reddit stock saga hit a turning point Thursday when Robinhood halted trading of GameStop and other companies seeing high volatility over the past few days. Critics slammed the move, but the app's chief executive, Vlad Tenev, defended it, saying that the valuation and the platform, rather, had to do what was right for users. Take a look.
We had to make a very difficult decision to protect our customers and our firm, but we in no way do anything but protect it. So we haven't really seen anything like this before, and to prudently manage the risk and the deposit requirements, we had to restrict buying in these 13 stocks. But customers that held them could sell throughout. Thousands of other securities and stocks on our platform were available to freely trade.
And so the CEO explained that the move was preemptive in order to ensure that it had the cash to make trades after it drew on some of its bank credit lines. The platform is also asking investors for more funding, reportedly to the tune of $1 billion. The CEO added that the platform should have taken action sooner. The Robinhood freeze came less than 24 hours after the SEC said it was monitoring the situation. GameStop stock moving higher today after being halted multiple times again. It's up by about 51% right now. This after Robinhood telling customers in an email that it would allow limited buys of those frozen securities starting again today. We should check in on AMC shares as well. They've been caught up within this broader story as the stock is up by more than 47% as of right now. The new report suggests that the theater chain, a new report out saying that they're hoping to take advantage of this week's rally. According to Reuters, AMC Entertainment is exploring raising more capital, potentially through another possible stock sale. Now, that in itself would dilute the shares of the existing shares that are in the market. So it would be interesting to see what the reception looks like in that instance. But Hannah, let's back this up more broadly because I want to bring you into this conversation too and get some of your thoughts. As we continue to look at the back and forth and the regulatory front, which I know that we're going to discuss with some of our friends in Washington, D.C., as both JD and Megan are tracking what congressional members are saying at this point in time. From the perspective of the retail investor, I look at one of the silver linings in the broader part of this, and that you've probably never had so many people excited to talk about trading as we do right now. And whether or not you want to drum that up to the meme stock culture or just the fact that there is this vitriol that retail investors carry with them because of how the trading platforms conducted themselves yesterday. They want to see accountability, as do some of the congressional members that came to their defense in announcements and statements. Even AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she took to Twitch last night to address some of the concerns and actually had on some great people that were really helping break down what was taking place in this broader environment, because I think what we are seeing is that there is more transparency around the way that, or there's at least more demystifying of the way that Wall Street actually operates, even through some of the missteps that have been taking place over the past few days, whether that be on the short seller side or whether that be on the platform side, or even those companies that invest in the platforms themselves.
So well said, Brad. Look, what we've learned in the last few days is this is certainly Wall Street versus State Street. Not State Street, we're on State Street. Wall Street versus Main Street, sorry. Look, we know social media investors these days are really hating Robinhood. Not only that, Robinhood is feeling a lot of pressure from DC. Not too much love from us, the public. However, I also think you mentioned transparency. We're getting these faces are getting humanized, the ones who are investing and making so much money. I think I shared with you yesterday, there was a story. There's this guy who paid off his sister's medical bill. She had Lyme disease. Another one paid off student debt. Another one's parents were going to lose their home. He refinanced their mortgage, bet on GameStop, and now is paying for their house. But as much heat as Robinhood is getting, they're not the only ones here, right? Do you think they're being used as a scapegoat a little bit?
And so, yes, and really clearly stating that, and I'm glad you brought it up, the fact that it's not just Robinhood, it's also some of the other platforms. Webull had to take a similar action yesterday, and that was a platform that had seen so many people flock over to it, and perhaps leaving some of their Robinhood accounts. You know, we can't confirm exactly what those numbers may have looked like, and people that may have closed their accounts, left and went to Webull, or the people that held onto their accounts but still moved some of their trades perhaps and tried to act and engage with the markets over on Webull. And some of the same names, those same names were blocked in essence across multiple platforms, both behemoths that have existed in this space. TD Ameritrade, we heard about them as well yesterday, and that was trending on Twitter, I believe, at one point in the afternoon. And so with all of this in mind, I think what makes it so critical to talk about here, and I know we got to move on, but the fact that Robinhood, this larger question is the fact that they were looking to go public. They had already had a ticker symbol reservation that was set up under HOOD as well. And so with all of that in mind, that's where it makes it even more sticky for them in the environment that you could face more regulation, you could face some of the users flocking away from the platform, and then additionally you still have to face the investors and their appetite and whether or not they would want to get into this name when it does become a publicly traded entity, based upon what we've seen not just over the last 5 days but over the last 12 months, because it's not just the class action lawsuit that took place this week but the ones that took place earlier in the coronavirus pandemic as well.
Always such a great breakdown, Brad. Thank you. You always simplify this stuff for me. I always appreciate that.